From a little cover, I got my dreams in sight. Wrestling on the mat, I go and put up a fight. With every hold and slam, I rise to the peak. Now as Professor Bear, it's my strength that they see. Roaring with knowledge like a lion so proud. In this wrestling world, I'm standing out loud. I'm Professor Bear, got the passion to spare. Wrestling's my life, with the power to share. From the roots to ropes, in the spotlight we gleam. Chasing victory dreams, living out the theme. Now my WOSN, my squad.
Yeah. Hey, new beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul.
With my boys crew, we'll always ride. In the wrestling world, one just claim the prize.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me this evening. I am Professor Bear, and this is A Bear's Thoughts. Guys, girls, we've been humming right along with this appreciation month for the promoters. Again, it is such an amazing journey to get that look behind the scenes, to see everything. Well, not everything, but get to experience just a taste of what promoters do to make wrestling fun and enjoyable for us. So tonight, I have a promotion that I have been teamed up with for a long time. They put out great content. And I'm so glad this is actually my first chance to have a conversation with the owner. And the owner is Tim Wilkins and my guy, Tim Dixon. How are y'all doing today, sirs?
Doing well. Yourself?
Doing great. Yeah. Thanks for having us on here.
Oh, no problem. Before we dive into it, guys, girls, like I always do with this appreciation month, I put up the company's logo. Again, I want you to make sure when you go look up their product that you have the right company. Because in wrestling, as big as it is, unfortunately, a lot of names are very similar, if not the same name. So we don't want any confusion. And if you're like me, if someone's willing to help you, you'll take that help with a smile on your face. That's why I put up the QR code. That would take you directly to their YouTube page where you can check out some of their great wrestling action. So with that being said, Mr. Wilcox, this is a question I ask all of my guests. How did you become a wrestling fan?
Well, I grew up watching wrestling in the NWA Mid-Atlantic days. WBTV Channel 3 here in North Carolina, Saturday mornings, usually about 11 a.m., right after Saturday morning cartoons.
Definitely understand that pattern too. Mr. Dixon, how did you become a wrestling fan?
Exact same answer. I mean, he and I grew up here in the same area, in the Charlotte area. So we were right dead center of the NWA Jim Crockett Promotions, that kind of heyday of the NWA, and we grew up in the middle of it. So I'm a little bit older than him, but we still grew up watching the same stuff. But yeah, it's when you are growing up in a place like that, it's almost a blessing to get that, because like if you're growing up in the Northeast and you're right in the middle of the back then the WWF territory, you're right in the middle of that. We were lucky enough to be right in the heyday of NWA, right in Charlotte. So it's you have to realize how lucky you are to be there for that.
I have to say I'm jealous because, and not that Knoxville was any slouch with wrestling action. We got, it was Georgia Championship Wrestling. We got Mid Atlantic. We had Continental Championship Wrestling. If the wind blew the right way in a hard rainstorm, we might get a little Memphis.
Yeah.
So, how did y'all go from being just wrestling fans to getting into the wrestling business?
Well, my wrestling career started in 2002. I trained in a ring in West Jefferson, North Carolina. Ironically, it was one of the show rings that they used for the TV studios for NWA Mid Atlantic.
Oh, wow.
It was inside a barn. That's where I started out. And then I progressed to move to a place that's called New Millennium Championship Wrestling and trained under a guy by the name of Poffo. That's his nickname anyway. And then from there, progressed to different promotions across the Carolinas, into Georgia, South Carolina, obviously. And then decided to take the leap of faith and become a promoter.
So you trained the Vern Gagne way in the barn first. So, Tim, Mr. Dix, how did
you just have to go by our last names. That's what we do at the shows.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, we just go by our last names. Yeah, actually, I got into. I've never been a wrestler. I got into the wrestling business by promoting a show. I wanted to raise money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and so I wanted to put on a show to raise money. And one of the guys that I had on that show is Tim Wilcox in his former persona of Sir Jonathan Buffet back when he was wrestling. So we've known each other like the entire time I've been in the business. We've known each other. That was 2005, so it's over 20 years that we've known each other and worked together. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been a wild ride. I can say that.
So, Mr. Dixon, what made you decide you wanted to run your own promotion?
Well, I did run my own promotion for a while, and then I stopped doing that. Now I let him do that. That's his job now, because I realize it's a lot of work.
So, Mr. Wilcox, what made you say, okay, I want my own promotion?
I woke up one day and had this dumb idea. No, back in the day, like when I was wrestling, honestly, I wrestled most of the time. I wrestled for free. I didn't get paid. I just loved it, right?
Right.
And when somebody handed me some pay back in the. I was like, I thought they took a crap in my hand, basically. um, and but I would show up to shows, and they would we'd get to the back, and they would be like, okay, Professor Bear's here tonight, Dixon's here tonight, Wilcox is here tonight, so and so's here tonight, and that's how they would make the card. Just off of who showed up, and I'm
Jesus.
just sitting there, and I hated it. I hated that part. But every time I went out there, whether I tried to make my match stand out more than anybody else's, um, and so, but stuff like that. That's where when I decided to run and make Wrestling Evolution, I was like, I'm going to focus on entertainment. I'm going to focus on storylines. I'm going to focus on trying to make people stars, and get the fans ingrained in what we do. And I feel we do that very well with our storytelling. And then from there, it's just been basically history. It's the one thing that I eat, sleep, and breathe on a daily basis. I'm either coming up with ideas, or we're all coming up with ideas in group chats, and if I'm not out, obviously coming up with ideas for future shows, I'm booking talent. I'm out earlier today. I was putting out banners for our show coming up on the 14th, March 14th. So it's always a work in progress. I don't sleep a lot.
So when you decided you wanted to do this because you had a goal in mind, did you initially think it would be this tough, or did you already have the knowledge, okay, I'm going to have to work my butt off constantly?
Well, I can say this is my third shot at running a promotion. Like the first time I ran a promotion, we did a little tournament in memory of my mother, and then we ran like one show. And I remember coming home from that show. I think we drew like 50, 60 people. I thought it was a success. And I'm driving the truck home that had the ring in it, and the truck broke down on the way, and I had to have it towed back to the house. And I thought, maybe God's telling me it's just not the right time to be doing this. Because I was probably really in over my head. So then,
what he's leaving out there is the second show, the ring truck broke down. The first show, the ring broke.
oh yeah, the ring broke the night of the tournament.
Yeah, the night of the tournament, the ring broke in, what was it, the semi-main?
Yeah, semi-main event.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that was, it just had a black cloud over it. So then I waited a while, and then I had some friends of mine. They wanted to start a promotion. They're like, hey, would you be interested in working and maybe booking stuff? And I was like, yeah. Well, then it turned out I ended up like basically running the promotion. And then we got about six shows under our belt. And then divorce kind of jerked that out from underneath me at the time. And so then I was like, I'm never gonna do this again, because obviously it's not meant for me to be a promoter. And then it was right there, right after COVID, we'll say. So about 2022. Well, when COVID ended, 2021. So 2021, 2022. I was working like a lot of overtime at the shoot job. And then one day I come in, and they're like, hey, we don't need you to come in unless we call you. And so they kind of cut the overtime out. And I just decided, Mark Twain had to say it. It said, write what you know about. And I just kept going over and over and over and over and over again in my head. And so then I'm just standing at work sometimes at the computer, and I started like, okay, wrestling. I've been embedded in wrestling for 20 years now, nearly. So I started doing searches for like promotional names, and I'm putting in Wrestling Revolution and some other stuff. I can't even remember what all I put down, but then I was like, wait a minute, about Wrestling Evolution. So I started doing a search for that, and I couldn't find anybody that had the promotion by that name. And I wanted to come up. So then I came up with the catchphrase "Witness the Evolution," because I wanted wrestling has evolved over the years. Obviously, from the Mid Atlantic days to now, we're completely different. Old school still works to an extent, but sometimes fans almost have to see somebody kill somebody just about to be entertained.
Right,
Um,
right.
so I wanted to incorporate a little bit of almost every blend of wrestling there was into what Wrestling Evolution was. So that's where the evolution came from, and then started pitching some ideas about like a logo. And I had a friend of mine come up and said, "Hey, well, why don't you throw the DNA chain down the middle?" And I was like, "Hey, that makes sense." So pitched the idea to a guy. He designed the logo, and then I decided. I said, if I'm going in on this, I'm going all in. And it's what I eat, sleep, and breathe now.
So, Mr. Dixon, how did you play into all of this?
Well, I at that time, like he was saying, in 22, 23, when he was starting Wrestling Evolution, I had kind of stepped back from the wrestling business for a couple of years, and I saw a post about Wrestling Evolution that it was coming in this, and I don't remember how I did it, but I figured out that it was probably him that was posting about it. So I just sent him a message, and like I said, we've known each other for 20 years. I just told him, hey, if you need, at first the conversation was, if you need a ring announcer or a commissioner, just let me know. And if not, I'll buy a ticket and I'll be in the front row, because I wanted to kind of get back in, at the very least, back into watching wrestling, because that is something that it's a beautiful thing about independent wrestling. There's nothing like it. It's performance art, it's community theater, it's just raw emotion right there in the middle. When it's done properly, it's all this wrapped up into one. And I had gotten to where I missed that, so I wanted to get back into that. So yeah, if I could be if he needed me to be a part of it, great. I'd be glad to do it. And if not, I'm going to be there with a ticket in my hand, watching and supporting. But it just started, the conversation started, and it went from ring announcer to, yeah, I'd love, he said, I would love to do a video product. I was like, well, I can do that. Because I enjoy being a play-by-play guy more than ring announcing. So it was more in my wheelhouse. So we started talking about that, and then we started talking about producing the video, which I have that background. I worked in TV, for local TV, for 17 years. So I have that background, and I've produced wrestling TV or video product since 2008. So obviously I have that background. So it got to where it was like, here's this, and then there's a little bit more, and then there's a little bit more, and then I'm all in. And it's something like he said, he eats, sleeps, and breathes it. And I have gotten to the same way, that it's one thing that we want to do, to bring that product, almost like a product that we've never seen. We want to bring that to independent wrestling, and we want to put that on. And at the same time, we want to foster the talent that's coming up. We focus on the younger talent, the ones that are breaking in now, that are green in the business and need to be trained and molded. And that's what we focus on doing. We have producers that work for us that have a combined 60 years of experience in the wrestling business, and that's what they're there for. They're there to teach those guys and teach them what they need to know, so when they're hired, thankfully, Lord willing, when they're hired by a national company, they're ready to go, and they've learned from us what they need to do to be on TV. And that's it. So it's, yes, we want to put on this show, and we want to put on the best possible show we can, but at the same time, we want to build our guys and make them into who they need to be.
I've told you this before, Mr. Dixon and Mr. Wilcox. The production is next level. I mean, I've not seen production that well done since WWE, AEW, those top levels. It makes the show even more exciting. You drawing fans in with this great production, and of course the talent is the cherry on top. But again, when first thing you notice is, bam, man, those lights, oh, that smoke, oh wow, this is a big tier company.
Thank you for that. That
Yeah,
means a lot. Yeah, because that's something that we pride ourselves on, and that's something. And when it comes to the production, like I said, I have that TV background, so I take it very seriously, and I want it. It needs to look good, and it needs to look top level, and that's the way I approach it, and that's what we want, and we insist on. So
To me, there's levels to the indie scene, and this is no disrespect to any wrestling organizations out there, but I'm just being real. You have the bottom levels, the as Jim Cornette would call the mud shows.
I was about to say that.
They just really don't care. They just throwing something up, trying to get a couple of bucks. Then you have the middle indie shows. You can tell they care. You can tell they're passionate, but you can also see that they are not bagged up with financial, and they're trying, but it just really is not there as far as their production. The wrestling is good, but they could use some help here and there. Then you have the top level indie show promotions, the ones that look amazing, that gives you a feel like this is my own WWE in my neighborhood. I can see these stars. I can feel it. Every time I go to a show, it blows me away. If I see it on YouTube or on your network, it's a wow. You don't want to move. So that's how I put a lot of them. But the common thing with everyone, except the mud shows, is that you have a family feel to it. As I like to call it, it's a family reunion, because you have the same people go. They become not just fans, but a part of the show. They can talk to the wrestlers. They may give them insight to something that the wrestlers didn't know. Like, hey, I saw you do this. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but maybe you want to try to do something different. You when you don't see them around, you kind of start worrying about them. Then when they come, oh man, you been okay? We were worried about you. You didn't show up. So that to me is the caveat to indie wrestling, that family feel, and you can get great production and great wrestling. What else do I want or need? So with that being said, what is the ultimate goal for Wrestling Evolution?
my ultimate goal is for all of us to be doing this full time. A lot of people could call it a pipe dream, but I would take the number three promotion in the United States in a heartbeat because you're not ever going to compete probably with WWE, AEW, TNA. Um, that's going to be hard to compete with as well. Just depending upon TV contracts, etc.
Right.
But that number three spot, I mean, and no disrespect to the ones that are there, NWA, GCW, MLW, stuff like that. I would love to take this company from absolutely nothing and grow it into something that we're touring the nation and possibly other countries. I don't have the money back in that the bigger promotions do, but I feel like it would be a huge success story to say this guy with the right team that I've surrounded myself with was able to take this company and grow it into something that's a household name.
That is a great dream. And as I tell people this, especially in the wrestling business, if you're getting into the wrestling business and you don't want to be a world champion, what in the hell are you doing here? If you don't want to be the best at what you're doing, leave.
What are you
doing? You're taking spots from people who care, who want to be that, want to do that. So let's talk about some of your talent. Who would, and this is for either one of y'all, who would you say right now at this current time is your top draw person in the company?
Wow. Well, I mean, it really, I don't know. It really depends. Like this, we just had the show Sunday, and Rayhan Unteas is probably our top talent as far as like the fans that are into him. But we had the return of the Dante Cluth. I got to remember to put this stink on it.
You got to put the
And we had the return of Mason Allen, and the roof came off the building for both of them when they made their returns because we had surprise returns for the both of them that the fans had no clue that either one was going to be there. And Mason was one of the most hated people we had.
So
was
Dante.
Guys we had on our show, and so was Dante. But the fans respected Dante's abilities, so you could tell like last year that they were starting to respect him and like him, even though his shenanigans and his antics were obviously on the hillside.
He assaulted me.
But
you
I'm still holding on to that. I'm still holding on to that.
Yeah, I'm about to say you sound like you got a little chip on your shoulder.
He hit me with a chair.
But what we try to do at Evolution is again, like I want to make the promotion a household name. I want to make these guys and girls that wrestle for us household names. So and when I go back to the storytelling and what we do, and we do a lot of long-term storytelling, like we'll throw tidbits and bits and pieces, and then we'll come back to it a year later to something else. Or we'll think, hey, we did this, and now we can build off of that because we have this to fall back on. So, and then the Allens, Robert and Steve, they're probably our top. I mean, those kids, they deliver every single solitary match. And then you've got Chase Coleman. He delivers. I mean, and Brino is ungodly good. And I mean, there's nobody that's on our current roster that I could say, oh, they're subpar. They're not great. They all know the level and the standard and the expectations of Wrestling Evolution, and they come and they deliver show after show after show after show. So it's really hard to just put a staple on just one talent per se for what we have. As far as fan interaction, who fans like the most, I'm going to like Rayhan because they throw the cream pies in the ring, which drives me insane because I just got a new canvas and I'm worried about them stomping on them.
Yeah, that's an experience. If you've never seen that, check that out on our show. When Rayhan is the cream pie poppy, and when he comes out, everyone throws oatmeal cream pies into the ring to celebrate, like the streamers that they do in Japan.
Right.
They throw oatmeal cream pies. It took me a while to do it, but I finally figured out that I need to protect myself. So this show on Sunday, I had an umbrella that I put up over myself and my color commentator Ivan M. Righteous, so that we would be protected from all of the cream pies flying into the ring. But yeah, they get stomped into the canvas. They get thrown around. They like 100 of them end up on the announce table. So yeah, they're
it's insane.
I would be so pissed if I had to clean up oatmeal pies every show.
Yep.
Oh god.
Yeah, and the referees have to clean them out of the ring.
Woo.
Before the match gets started.
Yeah, the referees, the camera guys, the security. I'm like,
everybody.
Sometimes I'll be running over to them like security. I'm like, you make sure all those cream pies are out of that ring before they start this match.
Yes.
Oh my God. I think that is even better than when they were throwing the heads in the ring for house.
Oh yeah. They're not going to get stomped into the ring.
Well, Rayhan came to us with the idea probably almost about a year and a half ago. And he was like, I'm wanting to do this thing and I'm wanting to do this cream pie thing. And I want the fans to eventually organically throw them into the ring like the streamers. And he kind of like laid the seed for it one night. He had them come out almost like what was it? The Druid entrance and he had them lay the cream pies out on the ring with the boxes. And then he took them and I think he threw them to the crowd, if I'm not mistaken, the first night. And then
I think he had a couple of plants
threw them.
Yeah.
And the next show after that, it just started.
Oh.
It rained. Like there was one lady one night, she brought 96.
Yep.
96 cream pies one night.
She cleaned out Costco with the big huge boxes. Yeah. And he had a long feud with Dante Khalifa that lasted, it was over a year, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. The whole storyline lasted over a year. But it built to this the spot that we got to. They were having a last man standing match for the Wrestling Evolution Championship, and that night people felt it. They knew. So there were so many of those things flying around. Because they had them ready when he came out, because that's what they always do it. But then when he won it, more came in. So they were everywhere.
Oh my God.
And our one referee, if he has Rayhan's match, John Harkey, he will pick them up and be putting them in his pocket. And then occasionally he'll be popping one open while the match is going. Eating it.
Yep. And then the color commentator Ivan M. Righteous, he will, as he calls it, he stress eats because he's worried about Rayhan winning the match. So he stress eats and sits there and like eats oatmeal cream pies the whole time.
My God.
And then complains about his A1C, that Rayhan is ruining his A1C.
Oh, there was the one night too. It was Rayhan and I were in the ring and we did something. We were talking back and forth. I said, fans, you cheering for this, but all he's doing is giving you guys diabetes. And and the crowd just started chanting diabetes.
There was a diabetes chant.
Oh,
God.
good stuff.
That right there just shows how much y'all got people in the palm of y'all head.
Oh, dude, I absolutely love our crowd because our crowd is very smart. They know what they like, and they'll tell you really quickly if they don't.
Yeah.
And so that is a great place to be, because when you know you got them and you get that reaction out of them, you know you've done something.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And Sunday, like he was saying, we had returns. We had Mason Allen and the Dante Khalifa, and I say the Dante Khalifa because that factored into the production of his return. His former group, the Drip, had turned their backs on him and beat him down. That happened in November, and we hadn't seen him since. So they're in the ring again, as Wilcox said, getting up to their shenanigans. Lights go down, and it comes up on a graphic comes up on the screen, and the letters come out to spell the. So it was like, boom, boom, boom. And when that the was there and was spelled, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. The crowd went crazy because they knew he was back, and they were so ready. Like Wilcox said, they had been building like the respect for Dante, even though he was a heel. The respect for Dante had been building, so they turned him face. We didn't do it; they did.
Yeah.
We just gave them the opportunity for him to come back, and I just, like I said, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, because when those letters came up, they realized he was back, and he was back for revenge on the Drip. The place went nuts, and then he came out, and it was I tell everybody this: pro wrestling is built on moments, and that is a moment. That was one of the I feel like one of the best moments. Same thing with Mason Allen. Mason Allen was taken out by his brother Robert Allen months ago. He took out his knee on the night that Mason had a shot at the Wrestling Evolution Championship. Robert took him out of that match. So he had been gone, and he had been healing up. Same thing. Allen brothers are in the ring with their match. And again, the video comes up on the screen, and it's Mason taking the knee brace off. So it's letting people know he's back, the knee brace is off, and he's ready to go. And while that's playing, they're watching that. He comes sliding in the back of the ring with a chair and just beat them all to death and laid them out. And again, you hear that pop. You get that crowd, that reaction from the crowd with something that we've planned and they've executed, like the wrestlers have executed. There's nothing like it. There's absolutely nothing like it.
With that being said, do y'all feel that y'all are living up to the Mid-Atlantic Crockett era of surprises and showmanship?
I hope so. I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah, that's a high standard.
Yeah, that's a high
That's a really
standard.
high
Yeah.
standard. That's a really high standard, and it's no disrespect to the Crockett promotion, because they had me glued when I was a kid, even all the way up into a teenager. It's just, but those moments, those memories, way back then when, oh gosh, the Black Scorpion ended up being revealed. It was Ric Flair, and when they
Tully and Magnum TA.
Yep.
Getting in that fight in the middle of before their I Quit match. Yeah. I still remember watching that. They were beating the crap out of each other right in front of the camera. So they had to lay it in. So they were really, really laying it in.
And I remember back when the Midnight Express and the Road Warriors were building up for the scaffold match. And I remember I can't remember the promo verbatim, but I remember the Road Warriors were up on the scaffold, and they had a pumpkin, and they drop it, and then that thing comes, and they slow motion video, and then it's shattering, and so those are moments and memories that I remember, right, from Mid-Atlantic days. So you want to take the fans and you want to give them moments like Sunday, or, you know, of just different stuff that we've done over time that they can, you know, that they feel a part of the product, obviously, because they're the fans. But they can sit there and be like, man, I remember when this happened. I remember this happened. Or hopefully one day these guys get signed, these guys and girls, and they get signed, and then they can be like, hey, I remember when Dante returned, or I remember when Mason returned and he laid out the Allens, you know, and just those little things. Or I remember when Justin Kinderad and beat Mason and Mason lost for the first time, and just, um, or when we brought all four Allens together at the tag team when they won the tag team and the legacy title all on the same night. And just those little things. Or the drip when they formed the first night, you know, when everybody got thrown out of the building, you know. So that's the
Yeah.
moments and memories that we try to build, so people are like, man, I remember when, you know. So hopefully we can get to that level and that standard of NWA Mid-Atlantic days.
And see, that for me is always my top standard. If you make a moment that can rival Magnum and Tully, if you can make me think back in the days, like, damn, y'all, oh wow, y'all got me. You're doing something. I love that, and I love when promotions put that love into it to try to hook the fans the way we were hooked, because we want it to succeed. We want it to continue growing. Like I've said to many of people, I feel like what I do is the old wrestling saying, leave the business better than you found it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what I try to do every time I do an interview. If I see a fan, I go to a show and fans talk to me, I try to leave them with that impression of, man, you know, Professor Bear, he's knowledgeable. I can't believe he was here. Or, man, whatever. But, and that's why I asked if y'all feel like y'all were leaving that generational moments, and it makes me be, as a fan, even more exciting, because just listening to how y'all told me the story, I could see the excitement come out of both of y'all. So that meant it's, you know, well, I'm telling you this because I'm the owner of the company. No, I didn't see that. Well, I'm the producer, so I got to tell it like, no, I saw real interest as fans that y'all were sold by what the guys and girls do. And that means so much more, because as fans, you can tell if a promoter is just whatever, put them out there, who cares. You can tell when wrestlers are not giving it their all. I don't care if it's 2 people there or 20,000 people there. You can tell. One of my things I've started doing, went to a show last year to go see a friend of mine wrestle. It was like a 2-3 hour drive. I'm a little tired, so I'm in the stands and I'm nodding off, not because the action wasn't good. I'm tired. So one time I just closed my eyes, and then I heard the crowd, and man, I'm like, how did we get to a 20,000 arena? Because they sound that loud and passionate. And I promise you, is maybe 50 people in the place, but they loved what they did. And that is my telltale now. When I go to any show, I close my eyes and see if I can tell where I'm at. If I can't, then I know this is a great show. If I can, then it's like, okay, they got some work to do. But I love getting emotionally invested.
Yeah, when I was talking about Dante versus Rayhan, the last man standing match, that's something I bring up to people, because when that was down to the end of the match, people were so invested in Rayhan winning that championship. That when it came, I mean, it's the last man standing, so they have to answer the 10 count. The entire crowd was counting along with the referee. So it was one, dead silence. Nobody's talking, looking around, doing anything else. They're completely in there. Two, dead silence. So everybody was invested. There was nobody, like I said, nobody yelling in between, nobody talking. No, they were counting with the referee the entire time. And so it was, I watched that immediately as soon as I got home and pulled the footage off the cameras, because it that night when it happened, it amazed me. I'm sitting there ringside calling the action, and it amazed me that everybody was so totally invested in that. And then again, when they got to 10, here come the cream pies because Rayhan won, and then we had fans who brought Swimmers, those little poppers. So you had to clean that stuff up too. But yeah, they went absolutely insane because they were so invested, and that is a gratifying feeling.
I tell you, for me, listening to the stories in the cream pie, the thing that I took from it was not necessarily the cream pie. It was the referee putting them in his pocket.
Oh, yes.
Eating it. That right there, that shows the level of great work from that referee.
Hey, sometimes you need a snack during the match. You need some carbs to get you through. So
right. But again, you're the ref. You're supposed to be serious, and all of a sudden, the match going on, you just take a mid snack, eating. Back up.
Yeah.
That again, that shows how great of an organization that y'all run. I'm gonna guess no one told him to do that. He just came up on his own.
Yeah.
And see that level of creativity to know I can get a spot over and people will enjoy it. It shows your passion for the business. It shows that you can come up with things on the fly that you're not going to get in trouble for. Wow, that was a great spot. That it just perfect. You thought of it. Good. That shows so much freedom that you give your referees and your talent, because I can imagine if somebody pulled that crap in the Bill Watts era.
Oh God, Bill Watts would have beat him down.
Exactly. He would have beat him so silly. Guys, I really want to thank y'all for coming on tonight. Again, Dixon, you know this, but Mr. Wilcox, I love y'all product. I love that we partner up and do things together. Y'all have a tremendous promotion. I'm so happy and pleased that y'all are continuing growing the business and making the business where once we all are gone, it's going to be in good hands. They had great training. They had a place to grow, nurture, and when these guys and girls get to the next level and make it and do different things, they can always say, they gave me a chance. They helped me. They cultured me to be the man or woman I am in the business today. So thank y'all so very much. Dixon knows this, but Mr. Wilcox, anytime you want to come on my show, you have an open invitation. We just love what you're doing, and anything that WSN can do to help grow that, we will do it with a smile on our face.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate what you guys do, helping further the product and getting more eyes on us, and helping just overall just helping the company grow, because that's ultimately the goal here, is to get us bigger and better every single day.
Yes. And again, y'all do so well with that. I love it. And again, I would do anything to help y'all, and proud to say that y'all are doing great work. And like I said, when I start getting tongue tied this bad, it shows me how much I really love the product.
That's
we
awesome.
definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great to hear, and thank you for what you do for us to help get our name out there and get more eyes on the product, but also just in general for what you do for independent wrestling, because it's
Yes.
not just us that you do that for. There's a lot of other promotions that you guys help, and it's great because, like I said, independent wrestling is a beautiful thing. It's performance art, it's community theater, it's interactive theater because the fans are part of it. It's such a great thing that I feel like everyone should go out and experience it. So everything that you do for independent wrestling is great.
I appreciate that. I really do. Like I said, it's been a great experience, and we're gonna have to do this again soon.
Yes.
I actually have something that that's boiling in my mind that I think y'all would like, and we'll get to talk about it off camera. But I think
You have
I got
piqued my interest.
Yes, it's so. Do y'all want to give a quick shout out or plug anything real quick?
Dixon, go ahead first.
Okay, well, yeah, our next show coming up is March 14th in Lincoln, North Carolina, National Guard Armory. It's called No Rest for the Wicked. And so we just had those two returns with Dante Khalifa and Mason Allen. They're going to be back in action for the first time after they've been out. So we haven't announced any matches yet, but those announcements will be coming soon. And as always, you can see Wrestling Evolution Aggression every 2 weeks on YouTube. And on WSN, as soon as I get you some episodes, we were just talking about that before we started, that we've got to get that all figured out. But you can always catch them on YouTube every 2 weeks. We are up to, we just, on Sunday, we recorded episode 77 and 78. So that is amazing to me that we've gotten to those kind of numbers. But we produce Aggression as much like a full TV show as possible, and that's what we were talking about earlier. That's the love that we pour into that you can tune into Aggression and watch it like you can Raw or Collision or SmackDown or anything like that. Did I leave you anything, boss?
Yeah. I mean, big shout out, obviously, to my entire team of everybody from that works anywhere, all the way from the front door production to concessions, ring crew, obviously the wrestlers, and then obviously, importantly, the fans that support our product day in and day out. They're the ones that spend their hard-earned money at the door to keep us essentially with the lights on. It can't be done without you. Your reactions, memories that we make are, as long as they keep coming, we'll keep spitting out good entertainment out. And obviously, just recently we lost our ring announcer, Brett Wolverton. Condolences to his family, friends, fans. Brett was a good one.
Yeah.
We did a little bit of we did a little tribute to him Sunday. He's not definitely. There's going to be big shoes to fill for the next individual that takes his spot. It's not going to be the same without him because he was a great man. He's probably. I said it Sunday, and I'll say it again. If everybody in the world could be like Brett Wolverton, this world would be a much better place. I think that's about it because you already covered the next show.
Yep.
I love each and every one of y'all.
Again, guys, thank y'all so very much for what you do for the sport of wrestling. And I am proud and honored to call y'all friends and wrestling family. So we will continue helping push the name, and we love great wrestling. So I'm definitely gonna make sure people know about y'all.
You got to get in the car and come down to a show.
The plan is the plan is I've talked to so many people. And funny, it's scary to me that a lot of people want me to come to the show. I'm like, do you really want me? But I definitely, this year, I got a couple of places I'm going, and definitely y'all are gonna be one of them.
Awesome.
It's definitely, we stand by, obviously, as I was talking earlier about the catchphrase, witness the evolution, but then we incorporated, like in year 2, I think it was experience the evolution, believe in the evolution, and join the evolution. And now we've added, I think, become the evolution. They're not just catchphrases and hashtags. They all have a special meaning. So
love it.
It's better alive.
Yep.
I will be experiencing it very, very soon. I definitely promise you.
Awesome.
Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining me around the campfire for another amazing interview. Again, these guys and girls who do all this for our entertainment, they truly love the sport and are trying to give the best things that they can do. And you should be very thankful. And if you get a chance, let them know they definitely appreciate it and get to experience that joy that they're bringing to you. They love it. So make sure. And as I always say, before I leave my show, please, please, please go support your local wrestling promotion. Again, like anything else, do your research because there are mud shows out there. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the genuine, good promotions that give you great, exciting action, make it where you can bring your family and you can go in with money and actually come out with money. It's a crazy concept these days, but it's out there. I promise you that. So, with that being said, I am Professor Bear. This has been a Bear's Thought, and we will join us around the campfire very, very soon. All right, y'all take care.